going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm Mr. Cincinnati, and as always, I'm joined by the podcast dad himself, Choops. What is going on, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Can't complain. It is a lovely day in the neighborhood now that the snow is starting to melt finally, and you can start to see the streets again. So,
I don't think it's melted.
Survive.
I think you got pushed to the side.
Okay. A lot of snow has been moved. Like, come on.
There you go.
Like, really,
there you
really,
go.
Really?
Nothing melted. It's still below freezing, buddy.
That's the hill. That's the hill you're gonna die on today. Really? My meteorological skills.
Hey,
or lack thereof.
Whoa, coming in hot today. Coming in hot.
I know. I didn't have any coffee today. Sorry.
Didn't have any coffee today? What's wrong with you?
I did not. I don't know. It's one of those days. I guess
all the snow melted. You could have got some coffee.
I could have. Could have popped right over to the Keurig, but didn't. Oh, what are you gonna do? Look at this guy.
Yeah, see?
From the OTM account this time.
Yeah.
But always good to see you, and thank you everybody joining us tonight. As always, make sure you follow us on X at Junkies Pod, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod, but most importantly, do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. We need your help to get there. I believe the current count is 406. Chris, we have one thing that we ask all of our listeners to do. If you could tell them what that is.
Yeah, just tell one person if you like what we're doing here. Just tell that person, and then they'll tell another person, and then that person will tell another person, and we'll be at 1,000 in no time. And then who knows what's after that? Probably 2,000. But keep telling those people, and we greatly thank you. We want to keep doing this and enjoy what we're doing here. So come join us.
Yes. Also, shout out to the King. Just be cool in the chat tonight. You were a little plucky last night, and yeah. Anyway, Kyle, so you know I'm watching on the laptop, uploading a new video of him showing your wrestling picture book. Sounds like you got to bring that to Indy. I'm very curious as to what that is. So we'll be catching up with you in about 3 weeks time here at this point.
Merry Christmas.
I like it. But while you're at it, also make sure you're following our friends at the Main Event Wrestling Network at @main_event_ on all social media platforms. If you love live podcasts, great blogs, fan art, memes, you name it, we have it. We work with some of the most incredible people, and we want you along on the journey with us. We are always looking to grow, so make sure you're following the Main Event Wrestling Network on all social media platforms. While you're at it, buy some merch. We've got mugs, we've got hoodies, tank tops, beanies. It's about time to add some new stuff to the store. So I have been talking to our graphics guy about adding some new things, especially with that next project that we have in the works. So I can't wait to give you guys some more details about that. But also make sure that you're checking out our friends at Gorilla Press Apparel. Remember, GorillaPressApparel.BigCartel.com. Use promo code WJP2024 for 25% off site-wide. If you are a wrestler, referee, manager, promoter, you need some merch for those tables, DM Will at Gorilla Press APP on X. Incredible work he's been doing with Gary J lately, and those shirts are flying off the shelves. And remember, he's got a match coming up against Mikey McDaniel coming up February 15th. I want to say that it is for Neo Pro Wrestling. Tickets are available now. You can find that Neo Pro on X if you want more information about that. Kyle says he wants to do a vlog for the Main Event YouTube channel, Rumble Weekend. I think that would be a lot of fun. Getting the Main Event crew together, bringing some significant others with us. It's going to be a good time. So, let's have some fun with it.
That's right. A couple special guests in that vlog. But, yeah, should be fun. I'm excited.
And, yes, Mikey Montgomery, thank you, Will, for correcting me on that. Sorry if I mispronounced his name. What? Nobody's Nerfic, Chris.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. So whatever.
I'm too tired to dignify that with a response. I'm just
okay. Well,
I don't have a creative one.
I'll take that as a win, but whatever. Podcast Dad, it's we got quite a bit to talk about here. The Netflix era has begun, but there is also some incredible stuff going on with our friends at Coastal Empire Wrestling. Coming up in later on this month, we have the Jandemonium event taking place here. Incredible card. Lining up here, we've got Randall Reno III taking on the Flying Furrow Michael Walker. We've got Coastal Chaos champion Hakeem Young taking on Cam Jackson, Cam Jackson. I apologize. And then we've also got our friends Exotic Youth taking on the Saturday Night Temptations. We couldn't talk a little Coastal Empire Wrestling without the very heart and soul of Coastal Empire Wrestling himself. So without further ado, let's welcome Zach Mosley to the show. Zach, what is going on, man? Good to see you.
Hey, glad to be here, man. I don't trust the meteorologists, for one. I know you guys have been dealing with the snow up there. It's been hot as hell one day and cold as hell the next down here, but we've been running strong at Coastal. So looking forward to getting into it with you guys.
Yeah. We're excited to have you back on. Shout out to Peps for big timing us once again. But hey,
this man's schedule is packed, man. You can't get him. Celebrity.
At this point, it just kind of feels like he's doing it on purpose.
It's fine. I mean, if you don't want to hang out with us, it's cool. You can just say so.
Okay.
Neither here nor there. But Zach, no, we got a lot to talk about, man. Reno's Casino Rumble is in the books, and it set the stage for the first show of the year. I don't think it's on YouTube just yet, but for those watching along with us right now, give us some of the highlights of the show and what we are looking forward to at Jandemonium.
Yeah, so it actually comes out this Thursday, Reno's Casino Rumble. It was, I think it's only the second Rumble in CW history. It was spectacular. We had some returning stars, some CW originals. Carl Hager returned, which he's going to be one of our opponents in the upcoming tag team title match. But we also seen the return of Bryce Cannon. He came from the commentary table, got in the ring and laid the smackdown on Dax Anthony and Suge D and softened him up for me to eliminate Suge. So, man, the crowd went absolutely wild for Bryce, which was great to see. So it should be just a few more months here, and then you'll see Bryce Cannon back in the ring full time, I guess. But I don't have an exact timeline. We're not going to give that kind of information out. But also we had Randall Reno weasel his way through the Rumble from number one all the way to the very end. But I've got good news about that night. Donald Jakes was arrested, and he is gone from Coastal Empire Wrestling for good. So finally caught up to him, abusing the police, abusing his power as a religious leader, as he likes to call himself. Finally got exposed. Chad Skywalker came out with the VHS tapes, and I don't know how they found a VCR, but apparently it's got evidence. It's going to keep the pastor locked away for quite some time. So it was a hell of a night, man. 2024 was a hell of a year for CW. It was a breakout year. We went pretty much from not being on anybody's radar to being on everybody's radar. Talent from all over the country are trying to come in. We're getting coverage constantly from many different sources and outlets now. So we're definitely going in the right direction, but 2025 is going to go to the next level. So I'm looking forward to that with Jandemonium too.
Now, if I recall correctly, CEW's up for several Georgia Wrestling History Awards, or at least in the conversation for a lot of these. So tell our audience what that means to you. I mean, we had some involvement in that last year as far as presenting that show. And I mean, this is a who's who of incredibly talented people in the state of Georgia. What's it feel like to be part of that conversation?
Man, it's awesome because, I mean, as you guys know, and I'm not tooting my own horn, I guess everybody knows this, who knows Exotic Youth, but we've been nominated the past 4 years for Best Tag Team. We won it 2 of those years. We won Best Feud. We've won Best Match. We've won a lot of awards in the past. Bryce has even had Best Male Performer, but to be nominated for CW as Best Promotion and going from literally like nobody knowing about CW outside of the Southeast region in Georgia to now everybody in the Southeast United States is talking about it, and it's up there in the top 4 or 5 for promotion of the year. It's on the final ballot, so that's amazing to see. At first, there was some confusion. It didn't get announced at the beginning. It got confused with another promotion. They announced the wrong name and cleared that up a couple days ago. But we're on the ballot for Best Promotion. Bryce and I are up for Best Booker, which that would mean the world to us to get that, just to be able to show that we can create. It's not a coincidence that we've been doing what we've been doing over the past 4 years. It's the stories we tell in the ring. It's the way that we put things together that kind of separates us, I think, from, the rest of the pack. But like I said, there's a who's who. And like you said as well, I mean, you got Hunter James up for Best Male Performer. You've got Donald Jakes up for Best Manager. You got our announce team up for Best Commentary Team. The wonderful Diana Michelle. As always, she's up for Best Announcer. And Exotic Youth, we're showing we still got it. We're up for Tag Team of the Year yet again. And up for 2 feuds of the year, one with Pastor Donald Jakes and then one with Pastor Gary Lamb up at Southern Honor Wrestling. So pretty wild. And then one of the other candidates in that category is Hakeem and Fro from Coastal. So it's like it's 2 exotic youth, it's 1 Coastal, and then there's 1 other. It's really awesome to see so much representation for Coastal this year. It's really unexpected, really. So
let's rewind a little bit. Let's take a look at 2024. What are you most proud of? I would say for Coastal in 2024.
For me, I'm just proud of the way that we've been able to elevate the brand and the way that we've been able to elevate the talent that's on our show. Some of the homegrown talent, like flying for Michael Walker, who's been down there for years. He's got a lot more spotlight on him over the past year with based on his work with the Chaos title, as well as Hakeem Young, who, this time last year was one of the more controversial names on this award show. He was up for best rookie. And some things went down at the Georgia Wrestling History Awards, but we decided to give him a chance because we saw something in him, and he's been nothing but professional ever since. I mean, not that he's not showing that he's still wants to behave ethically. I mean, he'll do whatever the hell it takes to win titles. He doesn't care who he hurts, but he keeps the violence to the ring now, so that's great. It's good to see those guys coming up. It's great to see the renaissance of Simon Sermon's career as the Boss Daddy. He's been absolutely killing it this year. And I mean, he was killing it until we killed them pretty much. But, that body bag match, I was super proud of that. I was super proud of the feud with Simon and Chip Schuyler, who we also sent him packing as well. So, I mean, I guess it all boils down to the fact that I'm proud that we got rid of a lot of this trash and started bringing in a lot more new talent from around the Southeast, and really have elevated the brand in such a way that now it's not us always reaching out trying to bring in this new talent. It's us picking from all these great candidates who want to be a part of the show. So
I mean, okay, Chris.
I'm gonna say let's talk about that unique match, that body bag match. How was that? How was that experience? How did that even come about? And then what was your mindset going into it?
Well, I mean, how do you go any further than a death match? Me and Chip had that death match in the middle of last year. And things were far from over. Simon Sermon wasn't satisfied, so we had to up the ante one more time. And I mean, nobody actually died in the death match, so we had to make sure somebody at least got sent to the morgue in the other one. It was awesome. It started inside. It went all around the VFW. I did a backflip off the top of a nearby outhouse type building or utility building or whatever. Every single fan got up out of their seat and followed us outside, and we had a little graveyard set up out there. And the shovel came into play, and that went right across the back of Simon Sermon's head when they thought they had Peps locked away in that bag, but not quite. Not quite. He came up from the dead. He crawled out of his grave, and he snapped the Boss Daddy and the little bitch boy Chip Schuyler right into those body bags, and we choked him out with the belts and got him back for strangling us like John Wayne Gacy for the past 6 months. So it was wild, man. But I mean, whenever you're in there with people who are as sick and sadistic as Chip Schuyler and Simon Sermon, you really have to bring out your inner demons and use them against them.
Facts. So Hakeem Young has entered the chat, so nothing we can fucking do about that. But he wanted to let you know. I apologize in advance for what he is going to do against Cam Jackson. We've already kind of talked about this. The Coastal Chaos Championship is on the line. Hakeem Young taking on Cam Jackson, who has had a hell of a 2024 as far as his Coastal Empire Wrestling career. At this point, Zach, I want to get your thoughts on this. I mean, this was, the Coastal Chaos Championship. That is the workhorse title. It's one of the most important in independent wrestling right now, again, because of the work that Michael Walker did to elevate this championship. And I know that that's going to piss Hakeem Young off that I'm saying that. So I'm just going to hammer home the fact that Michael Walker did so much for the Coastal Chaos Championship division and basically left it on a silver platter for Hakeem to hopefully not fuck up here. But let's talk about this match. What are you excited for most? What do you think of Hakeem and his title run so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got big shoes to fill. Like you said, Michael Walker, with a historic reign, he really elevated that title. But Hakeem, he kept pestering him. He's like a damn roach. He won't go away, and you can't kill him. So, I don't know. I mean, Cam Jackson's been nothing but impressive since he debuted at Coastal. I think that there's a chance, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but there's a chance Cam Jackson could be whooping Hakeem's ass all the way up and down the damn street when he goes one-on-one with Cam Jackson from up the damn street. But like I said, Hakeem Young, he's one of the most talented up-and-coming stars in Georgia right now. This kid has everything that it takes. He's just got a shitty attitude. I mean, not much else you can really say about that. But is that going to be enough to take out Cam Jackson? I don't know, because you see, Hakeem, he likes to get in his emotions sometimes. He likes to let that anger take hold of him. And he can lose his cool. But Cam Jackson, you don't get no cooler than Cam Jackson. That man is chill as it gets. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
Godspeed, Hakeem.
Yeah. So as we kind of wrap up here and kind of get to the end of this, 2025, what are your goals for 2025, and what can we expect as fans of Coastal Empire?
Well, we got a lot of really cool stuff coming up, some of which I can't really put out there yet, but we got some stuff in the works that's going to be really freaking awesome if it works out. But be on the lookout for some more of the best talent in the Southeast and beyond coming in that you haven't seen before. Also look for the return of some of the Coastal Empire originals that you're used to. Get used to Exotic Youth dominating in the Coastal Empire. Boss Daddy, you ain't going to do shit in 2025 to keep those titles away from us. I know you got good hands, Suge D in the wall coming after us. I know that you got little minions in every division trying to keep the belts warm and by your side, Simon, but sometimes you just got to be a man and do it yourself, and I don't think that's going to happen when it comes to Simon Sermon. So
that's fair.
Oh, I did want to say one thing. This is a huge announcement coming up tomorrow, but I feel like there's probably no better place to drop the news than here. At February's show, we will be having an IWE Women's Championship match, which we have Danny Jordan and Brittany Jade. So that was just signed within the past 2 weeks, and I know our fans are going to be super excited about that. They've been wanting a women's division for a bit, so you'll get a little bit of taste of what some of the best women in the state and the Southeast are doing right now. They haven't had women of this caliber come down to wrestle in this region in quite some time, so it's going to be a treat.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
It's exciting.
Hell yeah. No, that's you heard it here first. That's fantastic news. And again, this is you guys have been doing some pretty groundbreaking work in 2024. It sounds like you're hitting the ground running in 2025, which is fucking awesome. One match I do
before we move on.
Yeah.
I want to thank Tim Blackman for signing that match with us and sending those girls down to knock it out for our fans down here, because we know they're going to love that. So thanks, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, IWE. We look forward to working with you guys more in the future as well.
Oh yeah, love it. So I want to talk about this just because we really haven't had a chance to talk about it on the air. You guys made some waves late last year when you announced that Alex Kane made his CEW debut and showed out, and he is back. He's going to be taking on Grayson Pierce. I mean, again, Alex Kane is one of the best in the game today. If you don't enjoy his work, then you don't have a pulse. I mean, tell me how it feels to have a guy like Alex Kane in Coastal right now.
I mean, Alex Kane's a guy who I've had a lot of respect for a long time. He's somebody that I've worked with in the past, both as in the capacity of a promoter and the capacity of a talent, like wrestling with Alex. And he's a hell of a talent, always has been. It's going to be a hell of an opportunity for Grayson Pierce to either get absolutely destroyed or to make a name for himself. So, he's getting thrown right into the wolves. I mean, there's no easy matches at Coastal Empire Wrestling, but if you want to last, if you want to stick around, you're going to have to be able to stick or keep up with the best. And I think Alex is a good measuring stick for one of the best, like you said, in the country and in the world right now. So super proud to see what Alex has accomplished the past few years. Super excited to see if Grayson Pierce can take advantage of this opportunity or if he might get broken in half. So we'll see what happens. But he's quick. He don't give up. Oh, what? The returning Bryce Cannon.
Look at this.
Where's the pop?
Boys are back together. It's been far too fucking long since we've all gotten to share a screen.
Welcome, Bryce.
Sorry, I'm in a car. It's very unprofessional. I just got out of the.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Man,
It's
we
all
didn't
right.
know
You
you
look
could be here. You were just popping in wherever you want to these days, I guess.
Look, that's why I said buy a ticket. You never know where I'll show up.
Yeah, you're going to have to buy a ticket to every wrestling show in town and get you a private jet so that way you'll be able to make it, you know, once they say you're going to be out there.
Well, they've got like these teleportation devices, but you can only get them in select stores.
Well, buddy, it's fucking great to see you, man. And yeah, heard you got to mix it up a little bit at the Casino Rumble last month. Looks like we're getting that much closer to the frat star back in the ring. How we feeling?
He's looking like a spring chicken, man.
Look, yeah, got a little ahead of myself. Lucky number 15, they should say. But yeah, I mean, it felt good. I felt good. Once
Next
I got
Anthony
back,
and KD didn't feel too good, but
well, he's for lack of better words, a chooch anyway. So he never feels good. But I got back on commentary and did clear, make it clear I'm not 100% cleared, but somebody had to take out the female dog, also known as Dax Anthony.
Okay.
he is a
Right.
bitch.
I mean, you can say bitch. It's okay.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It's okay.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
I'm a
I think we're going to hear a damn PowerPoint presentation about it coming up here soon at the next show.
I'm a changed man. I've got to clean up my language.
Whatever. Okay. Yeah. But no. Anyway, we're talking about Jandemonium here. You have one of the best seats in the house right now, and you've gotten to see all the chaos that has unfolded over the last few months here. We've already asked Zach, but what are your hopes for Coastal in 2025? What are your goals? What do you want to see? Who do you want to see? Just break it down.
Well, I mean, hell, I think we achieved a lot in 2024. We got Coastal's name out there in the Georgia wrestling scene and beyond, thanks to you guys and your platform. But yeah, I mean, I want to see Coastal grow in a way that it hasn't. I mean, we changed venues in 2024. We're starting to pack it out every time. So I'd like to see a bigger venue, bigger crowds, and I mean, Michael Walker and Hakeem Young, as much as I hate to say it and mention his name, those two did a lot for Coastal Empire Wrestling. So as much as I hate to say it, I'd love to see some success in their future. Success as in Hakeem Young losing the Coastal Chaos title, but
Yes.
he would be that a success. But
Somebody might pick him out of left damn street here soon.
yeah, I would love for the Coastal Chaos title to go up the damn street. I'd love for talent from Tennessee to join us, from California to join us, not just the Southeast. Let's get people in Coastal on the map. Like, that's our ultimate goal.
I mean, love that.
Bryce, on a personal note, what with the rehab going, major injury, what has this taught you as far as wrestling? Like, what big lessons have you learned from this?
It honestly taught me that I need wrestling more than I thought I did. I realized I always knew wrestling was an escape, but I didn't realize how big of an escape it was. And one of the darkest times of my life, being down, not being able to travel, being able to help Zach behind the scenes with Coastal, being able to show up and do commentary, like, it gave me that sense of like everything's going to be okay. And then especially like in December, being able to be in the Rumble, it gave me that little bit of, especially like with the reaction from the crowd, it gave me that sense of purpose in the business. It showed me, hey, people do care about Bryce Cannon and the brand of Bryce Cannon. So
You damn right they do, Bryce.
what's that?
You damn right they do.
Yeah, and so, yeah, I mean, it just showed me that like this wrestling thing is for me. Like, I am in the right business.
Yeah, that's right. Even if they break our bodies, they can't break our minds.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Because really,
Love
I mean,
to
it
hear
was when I got injured that we both really started getting into booking, because a couple years ago, it was kind of the same thing for me when I started running the booking for MEW, and then that shortly after that's when we picked up for Coastal. So I think it was that for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, it was just something that we were like, oh yeah, let's do this thing because we were asked, and then it was like it became bigger, and then you kind of start seeing fruits of your labor through other people, and so it's very like fulfilling. Like, even if for working close again with Hakeem and Fro on their feud and things like that, and then for it to be acknowledged in the Georgia Wrestling History award nominations like that's pretty cool to be like, you know what, like I may not have been a part of it physically, but being able to help those two like achieve something like that is super dope.
Yeah, to be able to contribute and influence others in like their success is more fulfilling than anything else, I think.
Yeah, I mean, found out you have a new skill in commentary.
Yeah,
that's what everybody says.
It, man.
I'm one of those guys. I hate watching myself back when I have to talk. So I'll watch the shows and I'm like, oh god, like how embarrassing. Like, but
I mean, there was one moment that stuck out when you did compare Hakeem Young to Samoa Joe. Like that was a little.
He won't let me forget that I brought that up.
A little.
He's had a few moments where he was like he was really onto something and then he forgot his point, but there's a lot less of those now than there was at the beginning.
Well, that's
He's
the problem.
definitely
I'll get
brought
fired
up on
about
those commentary skills.
Well, the worst part about commentary, and it's a good thing to happen, but you're talking about something, building something up, and then the guys in the ring just do something completely amazing, and it throws you off track to where you got to put over that spot instead of finishing off what you just were talking about. And like, that's my biggest struggle is finishing a thought.
I think all that's left is we just need to see you hop up on the announce table and yeet. That's all we need to see.
Look, I've yeeted all across the Savannah, but commentary is not a place I want to yeet on.
All right. It always goes off the rails at some point.
Yep. Always does, but we've broken down the best of Coastal Empire Wrestling in 2024 and its future in 2025. Let's move on to WWE. They kicked off the Netflix era last night with the first episode of Monday Night Raw. 4 matches, a number of incredible moments. Again a show for the ages. Let's just kind of talk about some of the highlights here. The Rock comes out and basically removes the final boss gimmick and goes back to Dwayne Johnson and thanking sponsors and acknowledging Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, and at least for now effectively ending any beef that he had with these guys over the last year. Bryce, I'm going to start with you. If you had a chance to catch Monday Night Raw last night, your thoughts overall on the show and then kind of what we're seeing with The Rock right now.
I loved it. From start to finish, I mean, it was a very good show. I saw somebody on Facebook mention, like, starting with your main event first and making the rest of the card follow. That's exactly what it was, but all of the other 3 matches, because there were 4 matches, right?
Yeah.
All of the other 3 matches lived up to it. I don't think there was a dull moment wrestling-wise at all. One major, thing that didn't work for him promo-wise, but you live and you learn. I think WWE definitely learned on that one. But
which one was that?
But overall, I think the show was phenomenal. I mean, they definitely used the arena to their effect, and I thought it was like a pay-per-view quality show.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how much heat Jimmy Hart got.
Yeah, who knew waving an American flag could get you some heat?
See, like, I'm the opposite, man. I didn't like what The Rock did. I didn't, because it feels like it's over, right? The final boss thing's over.
But that's what they want you to feel. They're not going to start the road to WrestleMania before the Rumble. Come on.
I don't think he's going to.
I think he's going to snap right back out of it. He's going to be an asshole again. But I mean, it says here they're going to have a Squid Games match. What's that about?
No, that was it was a throwaway line during that promo. It was
the dirt sheets.
He's trying to get some ideas.
No, I mean the Squid Games match. The Squid Games match really has me intrigued over here.
I'm gonna expose Zach. Zach didn't watch it, so he's reading the dirt sheets right now. To catch up on things to say.
To be fair, I didn't know we were talking about it today, but I will say, I mean, if they were going to come at it on Netflix and make a big impression, I mean, these are the matches you want to have. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley.
I think Pandemonium overshadows Monday Night Raw's move to Netflix anyway. So
I mean, it does. It does.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's been talking about the debut of Reno's Casino Rumble on YouTube world premiere this Thursday night at 8 p.m. So.
I mean, hey, we're certainly excited for it, and you can catch our latest edition of After the Empire, where we break down that show in its entirety on our YouTube channel, as well as Coastal Countdown, where we will be previewing Jandemonium as well. So no shortage of Coastal Empire Wrestling content coming from the Wrestling Junkies podcast. Let's talk about the Revenge Tour. Liv Morgan's Revenge Tour is officially over. Rhea Ripley is the new Women's World Champion. No surprise here. I think that this was like, and especially because we not only saw the definitive win, but we finally saw the long-awaited Riptide on Dominic Mysterio, kind of putting a bow on this rivalry. Podcast Dad, what is next for the Eradicator?
I think I'm getting pulled over, so I'm gonna hop out.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, you're. Oh shit. Okay. Well,
I was wondering if that was him buzzing. I was like, I can't focus. This is frequency. It's driving me nuts.
Well, that might be the first on the podcast, but
that's yeah,
there we go.
That's up there.
There we go. That's fair. We got pulled over in Georgia too. So
technically Tennessee.
Oh, he said he got pulled over.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Yeah. I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Well, Godspeed, Bryce. Godspeed. Yeah. Hopefully this is done. Like, I don't want to see Liv Morgan and Rhea anymore. I'm done with it. It was long past overdue. For Rhea, it's probably going to be something with Becky Lynch, I assume. She's rumored to come back at the Rumble. That seems like a logical next step. Two big stars having a big match at WrestleMania. I don't see why not. As of right now, I don't see any like major contender for her. Is there another one on Raw that you would say? I mean, we saw Bayley talking to Adam Pearce last night, so maybe that's one avenue they can go with. But I don't know.
I don't think that's a big match. I mean, I think Becky, like you said, Becky and Rhea, that's the money match right there.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with running that one back, especially with how well received it was last year, especially under the circumstances that match took place. You know, Rhea with the panic attack and Becky with the flu or something gnarly like that. I don't see any reason why you can't run it back with these two, especially because the Liv Morgan story kind of affected them both. Their heads are kind of clear again now, and now that they've been refreshed and kind of put this out of their lives, no reason for them to not run it back. The King says Charlotte returning. I mean, definitely is, but I don't think that this would be the move for her right now. Podcast Dad badly wants to see Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton. So let's hit the ground running.
Please make that happen. Come on. Another name, Io. They have teased a couple things with Io Sky. So if they want to do something fresh at Mania, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley would be very, very good.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't know how that feud kind of gets set up.
They're stacked right now with talent. It's just like I haven't seen any of those getting built up. But then again, I'm not paying as close attention as you guys are, so I don't know exactly all what's been going on. But so what's going on with Dominic? I mean, does he end up without a lady?
So that's a good question. They kind of teased that last night. Him trying to make amends with Rhea after she won the world title back. She clearly was not having that. Judgment Day has just kind of been hanging on by a thread for a good while. We're seeing Rhea end her feud with Liv this week. Sounds like Damian Priest and Finn Balor will end theirs next week in a street fight. I am hoping that this is kind of the last of the infighting between former and current members of the Judgment Day. It's taken them entirely too long to get to these blow-off matches, especially for programs that started at SummerSlam, essentially. This is the time to do it, I think. Priest, especially going into the Rumble, going into WrestleMania season, definitely needs to find something to do other than dealing with the Judgment Day. Finn Balor's got his own problems with the group because he's kind of losing his hold on leadership there. So there's that to be explored as well. But I think that it is time to put a bow on the Terror Twins' involvement with this group and try to figure something the fuck else out.
Yeah, that's a name at Mania. I don't know what's going to happen. It's Damian Priest. I have no idea what is next for him.
I think Dominic might end up going back to the Slammer for a little bit.
He needs to.
He needs to go hard up a little bit more,
Shave his mustache.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's the point.
It's not.
I love it. I love everything Dominic's been doing. I mean, that's one thing that I have kept up with is just seeing what he's doing, and he's been killing it over the past year. Because when I first seen him come out, I was like, man, he doesn't really have that special thing about him that Ray's got. He's just a kid, but he's gotten so much better, and he's really found like a little niche for him that's getting over. So,
I'll tell you, the next best thing for him to get some heat is he takes the IC title off of Braun.
That'd be fun.
And
That'd
then
be a
Braun
lot of
just
fun.
destroys him.
Did he come out with the lowriders and stuff yet? Man, I'd love for him to go that route.
Not yet.
To throw it back to
Give it
Eddie.
time.
That's
Yeah,
coming.
no, he always knows those right times to do it. I mean, the mullet, the mustache, like he's already got the aesthetic now. He's always adding stuff by the week. It seems like for sure. Let's talk about the New Day here. So they were supposed to have a match against Rey Mysterio this week, and a mystery opponent rumored to be Penta. It seems like they've pivoted away from that potential program. Penta, it seems like he's going to be mixing it up with Chad Gable and American Made. Podcast Dad, I know this makes you so sad because you believe that the Chad Gable push is officially dead.
Yeah. You think Penta's going to lose on his first night in?
No, I don't think Penta's going to lose on his first night in.
So who's going to lose?
Chad Gable's going to lose.
All
It
right.
just,
What's so far since the new Chad Gable we've seen? What's his biggest win?
tapped out Otis.
Yep. And that
Entirely
was
too late, but
that was last week.
yeah.
When did this heel turn start?
Like September.
Yep. They missed the boat, man.
Also, from Sam Skaggs, Zachary and his team have really busted their ass. Awesome to see his mind being put to great use. So high praise for the formerly mulleted one in his work at Coastal Empire Wrestling. Make sure that you are giving them a follow on Facebook, YouTube, and X at CEW Savannah. The Reno's Casino Rumble will be dropping on YouTube this Thursday. Make sure that you check that out. Let's talk about this main event before we get out of here. Early match of the year contender already. It's hard. You're gonna be hard pressed to find anybody that did not like that match. I mean, it fired on just about every cylinder imaginable.
Yeah, I mean, it's Punk and Rollins, and there's real life heat there. So
yeah,
I think I'm actually gonna go back and watch this one when we get off.
This was a good one. This was a good one, and that descent into madness for Rollins, it's coming.
Yep.
It's coming because the look that he had after that match was like it's coming. It's coming. As
it should. I mean, he's put the company on his back for the last few years. He's been a blood babyface. It's time for him to, see this next evolution. The last time we saw him really truly heal was kind of that early visionary with AOP and
Murphy.
Yeah, and Murphy.
You guys think he's going to end up against Punk at Mania? I mean, where else would they go with that? It's got to have a final.
Yeah, because I mean, I think that they both end up in the Rumble, and that I think is kind of what takes this to the next level to set up a clash at Mania. Neither one of them needs to be in the world title picture just yet. That'll be saved. We'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, I think that Mania is the blow off here. This is just kind of the opening salvo. And this, much like Sam says here, if they do a 3-part program like CM Punk and Drew did, it is going to be great. I mean, that was the best work that we'd seen Drew McIntyre do of his entire WWE run. Either one of them, he was really on his game here, and Seth Rollins is not going to be any different, especially if we do see some sort of temporary alliance with Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens, because they all have very, very similar grudges within that same collective of people. So I think that there is a lot to work with here, but let's talk a little bit about the Royal Rumble here, because John Cena kicked off his farewell tour last night, declaring himself for the Royal Rumble. Podcast Dad, it sounds like, at least right now, they are teasing the Royal Rumble storyline for John Cena. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, he's going to win. I said that when they announced he was going to do the tour. He's going to win.
You think so?
I do. I really
do.
do.
Cena's going to win the Rumble?
Yeah, I do. I think everybody else has too much else going on.
To do what? Put over Cody?
No, he's going to win the title.
I mean, here's
Here's
a lot.
Here's what's gonna happen.
Go ahead, Chris.
Cena's gonna win the Rumble. He's gonna beat Cody, and we're gonna get Homelander Cody. That's exactly what's gonna happen. We're gonna get the biggest heel Cody Rhodes we've ever seen.
I don't know if we're gonna see that.
Yep, this guy came in and said, "I'm gonna be the face of the company," and John Cena said, "No, no, no," and Cody's gonna go, "That's not how this works anymore," and he's gonna be pissed, and he's gonna.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's gonna happen.
I mean, much like this is one of those things where, you know, much like the Roman Reigns, the 1,000 Days merch was basically what they wanted to get to, and having that available. There's no bigger story that you can do in the Cena World Tour, Farewell Tour, I should say, than that number 17 title, because, you know, we can debate Ric Flair's title, you know, title numbers all that we want and whether it's actually accurate, but no one, I mean, John Cena has spent his entire career with WWE, 17 world titles. If we're just looking at anybody who has only ever been in WWE, shatters those records. So there's a lot of merch that can be sold with a John Cena 17th world title run, as opposed to like an Intercontinental title run, which also would still be really cool.
And do I need mega babyface John Cena at the same time I need mega babyface Cody Rhodes? I don't.
So Cena's back full time right now for his tour.
He's got 40 shows.
3 shows.
40
shows left.
Yeah, he's doing
December.
he's doing a full year, 2025. This is it, and then he's hanging up the jorts. So yeah,
He's gonna be there all year. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, he wants to go out the right way, and
you don't need 2 big baby faces. One of them's
but
gonna
Rock's
be pissed
also
off.
there right now too. Like, how's he gonna play into it?
And Roman's a face too. Like, there's so many moving parts that's why I think Cena is like.
They got a lot of stars right now. A lot of star power.
Yeah,
they're packed right. And if you haven't watched NXT, go watch NXT because there are more on the way.
Yeah, Rock will also be at NXT tonight for New Year's Evil. This is a company. CW. Yeah. So yeah, no shortage of moments, no shortage of surprises here. Overall, I think that they kicked off the Netflix era in the right way. I know it seemed like a glorified commercial to a lot of people, but again, this is the largest audience that they have ever presented their product to, and they want to make sure that people know what's going on. And Michael Cole did a phenomenal job of that last night, as far as keeping people invested in what they're watching, but also giving a little backstory as to what it is that we're seeing, especially in the main event, talking us through the history between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and blurring those lines of fiction and reality, and did it in a really great way. So, Pat McAfee also is just one of the greatest signings that they've ever had. He brings so much to that product, and kind of that compliment to Michael Cole right now, that it's hard not to enjoy, what's to come here on Netflix. I think there's a lot to be excited about.
How many people have tuned into it? Did they put out any numbers like that, or do you know how it's been received by like casual people who really don't watch wrestling, who might have tuned in?
Not yet.
That's what I'm interested to see, because that was the biggest audience they've ever presented to. I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think that, and at least it's certainly my hope, just because Netflix is notorious about being stingy about that viewership data, and I mean, there were some fluctuating numbers as far as what the NFL did on Christmas Day, but I imagine it would probably at the very least be comparable to that estimated 25 to 27 million. I think that they say that they realistically got.
That's amazing.
But we'll see. Yeah, it's
that makes like a lot more casual wrestling fans and like more indie fans as well. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody wins when wrestling is, especially the largest company in the world, is exposed to a larger audience, because then you're going to go seek out those smaller promotions that are in your area that you can go support and be at on a recurring basis. Like it's just trickle down effect.
100%. We hope to catch some of that. We got our bucket.
Facts. Yeah.
Too.
And by the way, I see Sam Skaggs getting on here. I want to shout out to him too. They killed it with Cracker Pro Wrestling in 2024 as well. So I want to definitely give him his props for that.
King Chris, you were correct. We definitely did not talk about that match there. Jey Uso getting the shock roll up on Drew McIntyre. That is another guy that is going to fucking snap. It's
all three of them.
You know, and
all
it's
three of them are.
I love that this is the story that they have been telling with Drew McIntyre for the better part of 2 years, is when he gets blind with rage, he gets sloppy. And that's exactly what happened here. The consistency of that thread with him and his story arc has been nothing short of impressive by Triple H and the creative team that's crafting this story right now. This is another match that if I get a rematch of this, either Elimination Chamber or Mania, I'd be totally fine with this. You know, we've been saying that Jey Uso needed something to stand out as far as a true singles feud that he can sink his teeth into and have fun with. We've seen the Intercontinental title run. We've seen him have, main event matches with people, but this is the program that is really going to set himself apart and the one that he really needed as part of this main event, Jey Uso moniker that he's been crafting over the last year and a half.
Yeah, he needed a big win, and this gave him a big win. So if they're going to try this and then continue to push him as a single star, you need to beat a big single star, and he did. So we'll see what's next. But Drew's going to Claymore's head off. So
yep, probably, and he's going to go after Jimmy in the process too. He's just going to one by one going to try to take out everybody, and I'd imagine there's another one-on-one match with Sammy at some point down the horizon, trying to defend Jay's interests as well. So we'll see.
Yep. I agree.
Gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure to hang out with the both of you. Zach, thank you once again for joining us as always. Before we wrap up here, give everybody the elevator pitch about Coastal Empire Wrestling, where they should go to watch it, why they should watch it, why it's so fucking awesome.
All right, so the reason you should watch it and the reason it's so fucking awesome is because we have the wildest storylines and the most colorful, creative talent you're going to find on the indies right now. They're good in the ring. They're good on camera. They're good on a microphone. They're hilarious. They're creative. They know how to capture every emotion on the spectrum. You can see Reno's Casino Rumble this Thursday at 8 p.m. on YouTube at Coastal Empire Wrestling. You can also catch Exotic Youth in action this Thursday at Phoenix Wrestling Experience in Augusta, Georgia. Let's see, what else? Dang, there's a lot of other things, but get your tickets for January 18th, Jandemonium 2. You're going to see another stacked card, like every card. It's stacked as hell at Coastal Empire Wrestling. Again, we announced the IWE Women's Championship match set for February at Cupid's Chokehold. That's going to be awesome. Get your tickets for that as well. And thank you guys for joining us and being our partners over the past year. It's been great teaming up with you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. 2025 is going to be something spectacular. Again, thank you so much, Zach, for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Remember, follow us on X at Junkies Pod. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod. But most importantly, again, do us a huge favor. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on that road to 500 subscribers. Need your help to get there. So, Chris, what's that magic number?
One person right now. Text your mom, your dad, your cousin, your sister, your brother, anybody. If you like what you just watched, tell them to subscribe and join us tomorrow when we break down NXT.
Yeah, we'll be breaking down NXT. We've got our friends Rob Weathers and Carmen Childers joining us for another fantastic Wednesday episode. Podcast Dad, you better get yourself ready. Get your munchies taken care of. This is going to be a fun episode, but that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. For Zach Mosley, for the Podcast Dad, I'm Mr. Cincinnati. This has been the Wrestling Junkies Podcast. We'll see you tomorrow.